Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the opening bell here at MarketStream.live. My name is Joseph Cusick from the Cusick Group, securities offered by MoneyBlock. It is Inauguration Day. Let's take a look at the markets. Right now, you have the market firmly in the green. You have the Dow Jones. The futures are trading at 19,745, up 50 bucks. You have the Russell 2000 up $5.80 at 1351.50. You have the NASDAQ up $23.75 at 5,078 even, and you have the S&P 500 E-mini futures trading up 875 at 2,270 and a quarter. So the markets are firmly in the green. You also see that the dollar has strength up 7 cents at 101 and about 22 and a half. And you have crude oil up $1.29, bouncing quite well after the inventory data. Mixed headlines out of OPEC, up at 53.39. That's $1.30 pop to the upside in the Texas crude. And finally, the bond markets. The bond markets are on the slide from the price point. You're starting to see that both the 10-year and the 30-year, the back end of the curves are down as far as price action. You're seeing yields up. We saw that actually starting to trickle over when we were talking about the European Union bond markets. We saw that yields were popping, prices were dropping. And I like to rhyme in front of the inauguration of Donald Trump. That is occurring today. He will be sworn in by noon Eastern time. And then he will, after he takes the oath of Oval Office, he will then give a 20-minute speech. That speech is going to be scrutinized. And again, there's not an expectation that he's going to be speaking in the tone and voice that he has on the campaign trail and during the election cycle. But there are going to be things that you're going to want to listen to and watch for. Some key points. He talked a lot about the automotive industry. So some stocks that you're going to want to watch are automakers. Take a look at Ford, GM, Hyundai, and Toyota Motors. That's F, GM, HMC, and TM. Those are four stocks that you could take a look at. Any mentions in the speech is going to potentially move those markets. As far as other groups that you're going to want to watch during his speech, Trump was animate about drugs, talking about drug pricing. So we're going to watch that very closely. The drug industry has been under some scrutiny even before the election, but now it's even under tighter scrutiny. Watch names. Start with IBB. That's the ETF that tracks the biotech sector. From there, you can take a look at the top 10 holdings for IBB. That's Amgen, Gilead, Biogen, Celgene, Regeneron, Illumina, Mylan, Vertex. The list goes on. Those are just the top 8 right there that you could take a look at. Another common area or theme is going to be the economic theme. Watch very closely defense. I think if there's any mention of defense, look at the ETF ITA and look at those top 10 holdings. Those are the stocks that are going to be moving if he mentions defense. That's the Boeings, United Technologies, Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics, Northrop Grumman, and Rockwell, just to name a few. And again, type in ITA or go to the iShares site and you'll be able to find the top holdings. One other area that you're going to want to keep an eye on as well is going to be infrastructure plays. Now, you could look at the industrials, type in XLI. You can look at the materials, XLB. But some of the most notable names that you could see if he does mention anything on infrastructure plans or highlights that, it's going to be names like Caterpillar, CAT, or CNH Company, CNHI. Those would be levels, areas, or names that you could take a look at and keep an eye on. Finally, as far as tax reform, there's not a heightened expectation that he's going to discuss tax reform because the cornerstone of his presidency and what he is going to be doing, the first action he's going to do is healthcare. Watch XLV. We'll see if he talks about it today, but healthcare reform is going to be the first act that he is going to put into motion. We're going to watch that one very closely and listen very closely today in his speech, but I'm not expecting a ton to come out of it, but you never know with the new President Trump. So with that being said, the markets are still moving to the upside. Again, the inauguration festivities are kicking off right now. Basically between the hours here in the Midwest and out east of between 11:20 to about 12. Basically, the markets are going to be all eyes on the inauguration. And if you're going to see any volatility, it's going to happen during that period of time. In the Midwest, that would be 10:20 to 11 o'clock. And speaking of volatility, just to end, right now volatility is down 7 cents. Take a look at the VIX futures, down trading at around 14.15. So not a lot of volatility or any volatility right now in the market. Okay, folks, that's it for the opening bell. You got some ideas, you got some things to watch while we see the new president inaugurated. Join us, 1:30 Eastern Time. We will wrap up all this action that's going on in the markets and after the new president has spoken and is sworn in. All right, have a great trading day, and we'll see you here at MarketStream.live.